Alright, so here's the deal. Earlier this week, I'm on Twitter, and I see Tempos tweet out, Tempos being the person that we did the Zillion video on, new support item tech will be OP when perfected. Thanks, Wolverine. Now, I haven't heard of Wolverine, but of course after that point we have to dig a little bit deeper and see what Tempos is talking about. Going to Wolverine's page, who is apparently a challenger coach for League of Legends, he has a pin post on there saying after supports finish tribute item, they should swap so they can farm another 1,000 gold. Post 15 minutes, cannons spawn every other wave, so you can get 500 gold in like 2 minutes. It's actually really OP. I think this will get patched once players start doing it. At this point, I'm wondering, am I getting trolled? Is this really possible? Tempos, if you don't follow him on Twitter, he is a huge troll and loves making memes, so I don't know if I'm about to try something that is actually not going to work. But why not give it a shot? So I boot up a normal game with some friends, and I start with Xerath with the idea that Xerath is one of the fastest at farming his support item in Spellthief's Edge because he has so much poke and it's very consistent. Not too optimistic. We booted in and it went pretty well to start already. I found some people with my W in the enemy brushes early game, so I was already starting to stack my support item quicker than normal. I was pretty much getting stacks from gold as soon as they were available for Spell Thieves, and aside from one little gank from Talon early game that I played amazingly. No! Horrible flash. He pretty much dominated lane from this point, so it really made it easy for me to stack Spell Thieves, and I was on my way quicker than I thought. Since we were completely crushing, we were regularly on the turret in bot lane, so I was able to just auto-attack turret and get a bunch of Spell Thieves procs as well. It definitely helped that the people we were playing against were clearly a little bit less experienced than us, so it just went pretty well this game. Okay. Interesting. Interesting again. It took me about 11 minutes to fully farm Spell Thieves, which is pretty good. Again, I think my fastest has been around 8 minutes, and so at that point I switched to Relic Shield, since in Wolverine's tweet he mentioned that at 15 minutes then cannons start spawning faster. That fun thing happened where my team was more than happy to let me farm my new Relic Shield stacks. Team's not letting me farm, bro. And by the time the enemy team surrendered at about 16 minutes, I was able to generate from support items alone about 1,300 gold. Now, post-recording this, I'm realizing that the one downside to buying 2 support items is you have to pay for a support item twice. So after stacking 2 support items, you have to do the math and say that you get 2,000 gold, but you are buying 1 extra support item. So you'd minus 400 from that 2,000 gold because that is what another support item costs. And then you'd add 160 gold to that because that is what a fully stacked support item sells for. So at the end of the day, you're not getting 1,000 extra gold from your support item because you have to factor in those buying and sellings. You would be getting around an additional 760 gold, which as support is pretty big. Now my theory crafting brain is turning, and I realized that one thing that could also work is if I was to build a support item in the top lane and roam more. That way it doesn't feel as bad when I don't have wards for an extended period of time as playing a support would. Let me just preface this with, I never really play support top, but since Janna is so last month, I figured I'd choose one of my favorites in the support role, which is Karma. The idea of this game is going to be playing pretty heavy roam so I can start stacking Spell Thieves really quickly again, and then also eventually switch into a Relic Shield. I get pretty lucky and get 3 stacks early because my mid lane Pyke almost gets caught in the jungle before minions spawn, but still I'm already getting that gold generation going and we end up netting at least 1 kill here. Fast forward to top lane, which I haven't played in months, and I am against a Darius, and he is just doing Darius things to me to where make a little bit of a misstep and end up going down. So then I follow up with what any other self-respecting top lane support would do and just start roaming most of the game. Oh, I'm fucked. What? I end up with Pyke netting a kill on Yone in the mid lane and then head back top lane to where Darius at this point is pissed off at me and is trying to dive me into turret, but I end up being able to outplay him and even get away from the Lee Sin gank that was following. Oh my god, get fucked. I try to keep pressure up on mid, but at this point Yone is pretty much onto me, so I do rotate to the bot lane to try to help my Zeri, who's already pretty fed, and get her even further ahead, which is going to help us later on. Now, at this point of the game, Darius is an absolute beast, and we are losing some team fights that make it seem like this game is not going to go in our favor. Oh no! On top of that too, we're about 14 minutes in the game, and I'm only at around 600 gold farmed for my Spell Thieves. Just like with other top lane supports, we're punishing the enemy top laner for overextending, and finally, at around 19 minutes, I'm able to fully stack my Spell Thieves. Super unideal. Could somebody who's better or higher ranked than me more than likely do it faster with a roaming support? Probably, but I'm still not loving it as of now. By the end of the game, I'm able to accrue about 1,550 gold overall from support items, and I'm kind of left with the verdict that it doesn't work too well on a top lane support because you're just not stacking your support item fast enough. My last champion I wanted to try out in the bot lane was Pyke. My idea was that since he had Umbral Glaive, I'll still have some pretty good vision control, even though I'll have that gap where I won't be able to place wards. But the game ended up being such a stomp from our side that I wasn't really able to farm my steel shoulder guards very quickly, and at the end of the day, we ended up just winning before I could really sell and rebuy my item. So, what's the final verdict? We'll throw it back to livestream BCawk so he can give you his opinions. So, final verdict? If you want to start with tribute items like Relic Shield or Steel Shoulder Guards, you need to be fucking good at farming with it and get it before like 15 minutes if possible, which is definitely shouldn't be too hard unless you're stomping and roaming a bunch. In top lane, it works pretty okay. I think someone who's a little bit more seasoned at playing top lane like support item could do it. With just normal support and using something like Spell Thieves or Sickle, it's probably much better because you can farm that really quick. Then you can switch into a tribute item like Relic Shield or Steel Shoulder Guards because Cannon minions are spawning faster, so you can stack it faster. So I think it's somewhat viable. The warding is a little bit questionable because I love wards, obviously, but if you can get it down to a science, I think it could actually work pretty well. So give this a shot in your game, guys. I hope you enjoyed this kind of different video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.